Leo. Hey, Barry, speak now. Come on up.
And there's the prisoners. Can't hunger strike tonight. Can we light a fucking We have to stand next to each other. We have to build bridges.
Some political discussions for a change.
We're dying. And we gotta reach out and we gotta stand shoulder to shoulder. I gotta stand shoulder to shoulder with the racists, the supremacists, the plans, whoever it is. Because we gotta work together now. We gotta figure this shit out. Because the war for him is about to fuck you over real good. And there's no other word for it. He's gonna do us all. And I'm the canary in the coal mine, even though I might not look like it. My ass is dying right now. Thank you. I love you.
Barry, you're next. Go for it. Take your time, too. I'm in 5 minutes. Everybody gets 5 minutes.
A few speakers ago, he had an announcement. Was one of the worst sales pitches I've ever heard for an event.
Anybody watching?
So
No.
erase your memories and recall
I've been publicizing it.
the March on Washington, which was a thing to raise demands for civil rights, and because your massive people marching and making demands upon the government, the end of Jim Crow had come about. Jim Crow as a formal institution came about. So when you think, so that is why the NAACP is calling for that mass march in Washington. How many of the people here can make it to Washington on that day will probably be few in between. But there is an effort to build a solidarity action in this and other cities, so people should say the gates. President Nkrumah, who occasionally attends these meetings, is making that effort. Second announcement is Labor is going to be marching on Labor Day in Wilmington again. You'll be hearing the details on a step-by-step basis. So reserve Labor Day, free march,
Hi, Iodine.
and rally.
Yeah, right.
So there will be
Iodine's in
march
Pennsylvania.
here on that same day as solidarity action, some action.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Next
Is that Iodine? That's Idlewind. I call Idlewind Iodine.
What I like to say
See?
is,
It says Idlewind. I told you. I can't read their names, so I make them up. Hi, Iodine. Idlewind is Iodine.
Here's the thing that I want to say. Okay, I was reading the Declaration of Occupation from New York today, and I read a sentence.
Bug killer. That's a new one.
And it said we must not
Bug killer. That's a new one.
And
Yeah, hi, Bug killer.
Everybody to remember, let's not lose focus of why we're here and what we're trying to accomplish. And I wanted to ask if anybody had a printer that we can print out copies of Principles of Solidarity and the Declaration of Occupation so everybody can have a copy. Because that's very important. That will help us remember what we came together for. Remember? The other thing I want to say is I heard about last week. I'm sorry about that. I was sick. I couldn't make it that day. But from what I understand, it was really a fiasco. And I just want to say, I don't know what to do at this point because I'm also seeing us dying. And I don't want that to happen. So I really want to see some action, but get together, help the community. That's very important. We got to get out to our community and start helping people. So that's all I want to say about that.
Yes, you'll be next. After Jake. All right, next is Demetrius. Everybody is just getting 5 minutes. That's how I'm just going to go for it. 5 minutes? I know, so I think that's more than enough for everybody.
Like, my main big thing about my main focus right now is actually on the people that say they here to expand OLA or suspend OLA or whatever. If you really got the whole big picture, you don't have to be any one of us in this area right now, but we are still in the city of Los Angeles. Whatever area that you're at, you're still occupying that. Look at the Trayvon Martin protest. They occupy the Martin Park. That's still OLA. I don't know what you're saying about disbanding OLA will still live on because you're still in the city of Los Angeles. It don't have to be any one of us. Any one of us. But still, if we're going to still continue to do it, we have to do some critical stuff. Some critical stuff. It don't have to be named OLA. It could be named something different because OLA will still exist without any one of us even being a part of it. You feel me? Like there's still people down there on Skid Row that's being suppressed. There's people in Venice Beach that's being depressed. Everywhere in the city of Los Angeles, somebody getting kicked out of a home. Somebody getting put in jail for something stupid. White people is, black people is, Hispanic is, but the government, blacks and Latinos is the minority. A lot, and it's good that there is a lot of white people that actually see it and acknowledge it. But my main big thing is, if they really do see it and acknowledge it, then put action into it. Just don't be double-minded. Just put action into it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Right on, Demetrius.
Yes.
Right on.
Next, Eric.
Eric, there you go.
All right.
Welcome back, Eric. Thank you,
Thank you.
Eric.
All right, so I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and when I discovered that Occupy LA was going to start in Los Angeles, I was like, fuck yeah! And I was like, so I came over here and I'm like, hell yeah, and I was like, at the encampment from day one, I would come back and leave, and I was like freaking excited that the revolution had started in Los Angeles. So now when I see you guys arguing, the same team that started back then in solidarity with the rest of the country and the world, when I see this arguing, you guys need to communicate. That's the first thing. This city of Los Angeles, this is the city of communication. And that's what you guys forgot, those of you who are arguing, all right, on the teams that represent and is a voice for Occupy Los Angeles. If you want to stick together, and obviously you want to stick together and not dissolve because you're still here.
We're still here. Hey,
now.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So you guys got to work on your communication. All right.
That's good. I
And
love
if
Eric.
you need any help, just ask.
Thank you, Eric.
All right.
Right on.
Whatever the mediation.
Jake. Everybody's got 5 minutes to fly.
Hey, now.
Hey guys. So as you all. So do we need mic? Do we need mic check? No. Okay. Okay. So as we all know, there are still prisoners on hunger strike. A group of the Silver Lake Neighborhood Assembly consent 2 weeks and however many days ago to do a rolling hunger strike. So we've been doing it. So they asked me to come here and just announce that here in person. So anybody that would like to participate, you can go to the Facebook page. It says Rolling Hunger Strike Solidarity. Okay? And you say the day that you want to do it, and you post a picture on that day with the number of the day that the prisoners are on. Today is day 17, and I'm hunger striking today. And so I posted a picture, and then maybe thoughts and reflections on what that's like for you. The important thing is we act in solidarity, that's great, but that we get the word out too. So when we post it on our page and that page, our friends all get to know. So that's that.
James, that's a good one.
All right, next we have Sunshine.
Okay, I'm going to sit right here. No, I'm just sitting right here.
All right.
I just want to say that I've been through this drama situation on Facebook for the last couple weeks in the sandbox, which is outrageously funny and dramatic and mean, capital letters, MEAN, mean. Wait, I'm talking. And a lot of the people that are involved in that situation were too chicken or whatever to show up again. 2 weeks in a row, they are not here. Where is Cheryl? Mama Sunshine wants to know. Live stream. All right, and the other few people that are causing so much trouble on Sandbox. We are here, we're occupying, we are still here. This morning I watched a video of the beginning of Occupy, and Ryan was the first. You were the first face on the video,
Exactly.
and you're and you were so cute. Your hair is all short, and you were like, and you had come from where you came from, back east apparently, to Occupy LA because you were so inspired about occupying. And I remember you from day one occupying, you know, and you've been so here, and you're still here. And everything you said on that video that I saw today made me cry. It literally did. Can you guys hear me? You know, it was intense. I fully cried this morning.
Check.
Sunshine speaking.
It was so, what we stood for in the beginning was, and RGAs. Remember Alyssa at RGAs back then? Like on City Hall steps, like hundreds of us, and Alyssa was right there, like,
Aww.
you know, and her and I even tangled in the beginning. Remember that? We did. We were like, the sovereign nation. And, okay, so it all worked out is the thing, and we're still here. That's my point.
Woo! And the weeds are here too.
Hey now.
All right, but we are still here, and we're not going to just dissolve because Cheryl and Alex and Candace and Shima, whoever in that group, think that we should dissolve. Where's Cheryl? Did I say that already?
You did, yeah.
Right. So, LA, in my opinion, is still here. Done.
Hey now.
Done? Alright, next is Beth. Followed by Portia.
Beth. Not by Beth.
Okay, so like, I don't know, a month and a half ago, I took a break and I took myself out of the sandbox. I've been on OLA social media since, I don't know, what would you say, week
Day
3? No, like week 3. Okay, because we had a hard time getting information out about what we were doing. You know, a lot of great things were getting shared, but it wasn't necessarily what was going on in our camp, you know? I was told I was a problem, I was told I was causing fighting, all this nonsense, right? So I left the sandbox. And I left the sandbox, and it all continued.
It
The
got
fighting
worse.
just moved on.
It got worse.
Different targets. That's all it was. Different people were targeted. Different fights broke out. People even fought with me even when I wasn't even there, which is hilarious. You know, and that's the whole thing. It's like, we've always had our problems, but out of all of the occupations, we've actually been one of the best at solving these problems and getting these problems out of here. We've had the least amount of bullshit. We haven't granted, it's not over, and I'll tell you this, it's not over until we get our last person out of jail, and Blue's Clues is still sitting in jail. No matter what, we can't do anything until our comrades are out, you know, and this is the thing, it's like other places had bad infiltration where people got taken away by the FBI and are sitting and are doing charges. People are still sitting in jail. One person is still sitting in jail in Texas over the Gulfport 7. We've been really aware of things around us, and we need to continue to do these things. But you know what? We should take the opinions of the people who matter to us personally important to us. Make it important. Listen, and when you see someone you might not know who exactly they are saying something online, maybe you should think about questioning that. Because there are a lot of people who right now are in all of these various online Facebook groups who we don't even know in some cases. You know, and it bothers me that people say, oh, well, you know, I didn't know that this person is a page manager now. What do you mean they don't live in LA? You know, that's really concerning to me because we had never had our social media hijacked until after this restructuring. We never had that problem because we made sure people knew their internet security. We knew people to be reliable and safe. And you know what? When someone had a problem and there was a dispute about something, we didn't ignore it. We met about it in person. We asked that person to come to a meeting. We didn't say their opinion doesn't fucking matter, which is what is happening right now. I work on over a dozen social media teams with people from all around the world related to Occupy and other activist-related things. And this kind of shit don't fly in any of those groups. Yes, we question each other. Yes, we're critical. Yes, we say, hey, what the hell is this shit? Like even with NatGat coming up, we want to know, well, who's putting it on? What's behind it? We have to be aware. And if we're not aware of what's going on around us, what we've consented to in the past, and what we're going to do moving forward and who's leading it, then where are we going? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Okay? It's really important. You know, we got the website back up. It wasn't You know, we didn't lose the website. The domain name was a gift to us from a douchebag who took it back. He did it to Occupy San Diego in 2011. You know, we were lucky to keep it as long as we did. We have occupyyourmind.org now, and all of your logins still work. If you have a login, write something, say something, but don't just expect like online participation to run it all. We need to start like really working on things, breaking into affinity groups, working with the people you trust. If there's people you don't want to work with, just don't work with them. But we need this space to come together and to talk about these issues. We need this space to come together and talk about these actions and take action. I mean, hell, last week was amazing. We were blamed for actions all over the city that most of us didn't even take part in. Come on. And then, oddly enough, right now, we just got a new pig who didn't even know what the fuck or who the fuck we were. You know, neither one of them did. They didn't know we were Occupy. We asked, where have you been for the last 2 years? I even told them we're Neighborhood Watch. So, hey, we kind of are. You know, we got to keep watching out for not only ourselves, but each other. Because if we don't, we're just all going to continue to be victims of the capitalist system.
Thank you, Beth.
All right, next is Pusha.
Okay, I remembered something that was brought to my attention as far as, I want you to look around tonight. How many people is here? People we haven't seen in ages. And I love it. I love the fact that they're here. And this is what I want to see. I want to see, we used to have 75 to 100 people at every TA. Every last one. I wanted to get back to that. Yeah, sure, we ran off for a while because the park was giving us hassles and stuff. But come back. Don't let it run you off. Come back. Help do things. Get actions going. That's all I'm going to say again.
Lori, you have general announcements? Go.
It's not an announcement. I prepared a statement the night that I found out George Zimmerman was acquitted. I prepared a statement the night that I found out George Zimmerman was acquitted, and I wanted to read it last week, but unfortunately I couldn't, so tonight I'm going to read it. A black man gets 10 years for fighting dogs. A black teenager gets murdered in cold blood, and his killer is found not guilty in 2013. Once again, this is another case of the United States injustice system working against black people. It goes to show that black life is not as valued as white life. Time and time again, we have seen how a white police officer or security officer, a regular old white man, can shoot an unarmed black man, or in Trayvon Martin's case, a black teenager, and claim self-defense and literally get away with murder. The obvious miscarriage of justice in this case and outright racism is clear as day. And for people to turn a blind eye and claim they don't see race and racism and the role it played in the George Zimmerman case is an insult and racist in and of itself.
Right on.
How is it then that a black woman in the same state of Florida uses the very same stand your ground law that this clown claimed he was invoking when he shot and killed Trayvon Martin, an unarmed 17-year-old black young man? How the fuck does this abused woman who fired a shot into her ceiling
3 minutes
and not at her abusive asshole of a boyfriend get 20 years in prison and Zimmer Monkey gets to go free?
Right on.
Was she not also invoking stand your ground? I'm asking. Was she not also invoking stand your ground? Some would say it's because she was a woman and sexism is to blame. I agree. But she is also a black woman, and her race had a much bigger role to play than her gender. So yes, racism and sexism both played big roles in her sentencing. While this barbarian of a white man gets to go free, both claim self-defense, except for one thing. One was white and male, and one was black and female. It is time for white America to acknowledge that racism still exists in this country.
2 minutes.
I refuse to be relegated to fighting against sexism, classism, imperialism, and colonialism and patriarchy, while y'all refuse to acknowledge the existence of racism and white supremacy and refuse to attack and fight against it. I'm done trying to pacify white people while every 28 hours in my community, a black person is killed, murdered, and slaughtered by the pig power structure. Racism and white supremacy is not something you do. It is an institution of power in this country. And like an octopus, it has its tentacles in everything. Everyone knows, but some refuse to admit. Had the roles been reversed, listen closely to this. Had the roles been reversed, had George Zimmerman been black and Trayvon Martin been white, Zimmerman would be facing the death penalty right now. The image that will forever be etched in my mind is of Trayvon Martin lying dead on the ground, eyes and mouth wide open, in desperation, screaming for help. One has wondered what was going through that young man's mind in those last minutes, last seconds before he was gunned down in cold blood. Nothing can ever change the fact that once again a white man took a black life and got away with it. Woo!